First up, music, movies, TV, books. There isn't a piece of pop culture not impacted by the legend himself, Quincy Jones. Today we're remembering the icon, Quincy. We lost him over the weekend, age 91. He passed away on Sunday night. Friends called him Q during his decades and decades of work. Q was a composer, he was a producer, conductor, record company executive, working with every name you can think of. There should be a game of 7 degrees of Q. He started in the 50s working with Leslie Gore and Frank Sinatra. In the early, I'll cry if I want to. In the early 80s, he was the driving force behind what became the best-selling album of all time. Yeah, he arranged that guitar solo. Quincy produced Michael Jackson's legendary Thriller, which, by the way, for the youngins, went on to sell 70 million copies. Yeah, just a few years after Thriller, Q helped create one of the best-selling singles of all time. Quincy, oh, there's Bob Dylan right there. It's a great documentary, by the way. Remember, I told you about it earlier this year on Netflix about We Are the World. Quincy worked with Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie to create We Are the World, which raised millions to fight famine in Africa. Turning to TV, you may not, and this is a sign of greatness, and I'm going to get to another one of these in a little bit that's thankfully still with us. This is one of those things where you forget all of the things he touched. For instance, Quincy produced a classic sitcom from the 90s. He was the executive producer of Will Smith's The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air over there on NBC, mega hit. Quincy also composed the closing theme. It's just one of many TV themes that he created, including, this is, I think, one of the best instrumental themes ever. Watch. One of the best. I think Rolling Stone in their list of best themes named it one of the best. That's Sanford and Son starring the legend, another legend, Red Fox. That theme does what themes are supposed to do, and Quincy knows that. It sets the tone for what you're about ready to watch. That's the whole purpose of a theme, and Sanford and Son did it, man. Now on to movies. In the 80s, Quincy produced the first film adaptation of Alice Walker's The Color Purple. He famously discovered Oprah Winfrey, I'll tell you that in just a second, while in Chicago in the mid-80s, casting her as Sophia in the movie. I told Harpo. Anyway, I could recite that whole scene. Anyway, I won't do that for you. The Color Purple received 11 Oscar noms. Unfortunately, he didn't get a darn one. During his career, Quincy received 28 Grammys, 2 honorary Oscars, an Emmy, and a Tony. Incredible. The story, Fallon, the story about Oprah and Q, A, it's 2 categories. One of a great behind-the-scenes story, and B, it's serendipity. It's the universe working in a specific way. Oprah was hosting a local show in Chicago called AM Chicago. 84, 85. Wasn't even called the Oprah Show then. Quincy just happened to be in Chicago. Just happened to be in Chicago in a hotel room, happened to turn on the television at 9 a.m. when AM Chicago was on, saw Oprah Winfrey. He was in the middle of working with Spielberg to cast The Color Purple and said, oh my God, that's Sophia. They called, got a hold of Oprah. Oprah auditioned. She got the role. Quincy found out, not my words, her, because we can't call. Oprah was heading to a fat farm to lose weight, and Quincy famously, it's a great Hollywood story, Quincy famously called Oprah and said, I heard you're going to a fat farm. If you lose 1 pound, you will lose this role. Oprah turned around and went to Dairy Queen. There we go.